Hello, this is Warcry Heart of Ghur. So I want to start by saying a big thank you to the person who got me this box today. They did me a big favour, letting me have it a day early because I actually go on holiday the day after filming this. So I'm filming this on the Friday, it releases on the Saturday. But I want to say a big thank you to that person. It was very kind of you, and I know it was a real pain. So thank you very much. I'll also quickly get out of the way where Warcry lies in terms of this channel and where we're going with it. So basically, anything that comes out from the new edition of Warcry will be covered on this channel. I collected everything from the original edition, and I'll be doing the same for this because I truly love this game. I think it's really cool. I am excited by the changes for this current edition. That will all be covered in a review very, very soon. Like I say, I'm going on holiday the day this is released, but this is coming with me. So there'll be lots and lots of content coming up very soon. So what I'm going to do is quickly do an unboxing today. We'll have a brief look at everything, and I will follow up with some build guides if I think we need them. So as I'm building them, as I'm building everything from this box, I'll be doing it on camera, and anything I think will give a little bit of extra information for people who might need it, I will be covering that. If everything is straightforward, then that video won't appear. But usually with some of these boxes, there are a couple of errors in the instructions and that kind of thing. And more importantly, for the original Warcry box, I'm wondering if we get any of the problems we saw there in terms of really things that you should not be sticking together. Because I know that that will definitely fall in play with this box. Anyway, so enough of that. Let's get cracking. So Heart of Ghur. It is ram-packed full of content. There's plenty of stuff in here. So we'll start with, we've got 2 sprues for warbands. So let's see what we've got. So these are the ones for the Rotmire. And funnily enough, very interestingly, make sure you visit your local Games Workshop or Warhammer store and pick up their miniature of the month. It is a miniature from this game, and you'll want it because it will, for the Rotmire, it will kind of help to flesh out your warband ever so slightly, give you an extra model to go into that, because we know that the models for these warbands don't make up to 1,000 points. So make sure you pick up your model of the month from your Warhammer or Games Workshop store. So yeah, we've seen these. These are really, really cool. Can I suggest you visit Marco Frazzoni? I forget the name of his channel, but look at his channel and look at his paint guide for these. It's really, really kind of quick and easy, and it's a really brilliant paint job. In fact, I might even follow it myself and put a little roundup on my channel as well, because it is really, really cool. It's a speed paint as well, so yeah, I think his timing was about 4 hours on it. But yeah, well worth a look. So we've got 1 sprue for those. Another sprue for the other warband. Their name escapes me. We'll get to it in a minute when we start looking through the cards and all that kind of stuff. But again, I will hopefully do a little paint job for these as well. So yeah, I haven't done much painting on the channel in the past, but everything changes from now on, especially for Warcry. Okay, so we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprues of terrain. Have we got duplicates within this? So a brief look at everything sees that we get 1 duplicate sprue, and then everything else is different. Now I'm really looking forward to building this stuff up. I'm going to try and fit that in tonight, in between packing for holiday and all that kind of thing, because I think that the size of the terrain, particularly the trees, are much bigger than what we're used to. So the tree expansion that we had for the last Warcry kind of terrain set, there was one, I forget what type of forest it was, but it had some trees there. I've been told that the trees for this set absolutely dwarf those ones. So it'll be interesting to get those made up and have a look. But yeah, so it's 6 sprues of terrain. Some really cool looking stuff as well. Okay, excellent. Now, what have we got next? Nice separator protecting our cardboard from the sprues. So we have a board with our new tokens on it. Now all tokens are the same. They look like they might be slightly larger, maybe, not sure. Oh, they're not the same actually. So we have got dagger, hammer and shield. We've got tokens for those now. We didn't have them previously. And these tokens here are new as well. Let's get into her and have a look. Range ruler, nice. Okay, so these. Oh yes, sorry, yeah, of course we've seen these before. I'll just quickly stop myself from talking out my backside. That is a spent action token. So that might be because you've reacted and therefore you use one of your actions in your turn before you've actually activated that fighter. So things like that. Okay, but yep, these are cool. The mat on one side looks fairly nondescript and on the other side, much the same as well. But very much part of that Ghur setting. Okay, right. Let's quickly get this stuff out and then we'll zoom in for a closer look. So all our cards, our books and that kind of thing. And the only other things we've got here is some bases and their new dice, which we'll have a closer look at in a second. Okay, right. Books and instructions. We'll have a brief look at the cards in a minute, but each warband will get its own individual review. That is each warband from this box set and everything that's in the compendium as well. They will all get their own individual review. Right, okay, so we'll start with the Rot and Ruin Warband Tome. I just want to get a feel for what these actually are, what we've got in them. So, Flames and Filth. So this is telling us about the Rotmire Creed, it appears. Or the Gnarlwood, sorry. Secrets of the Gnarlwood. It's actually it is a bigger book than I thought it would be. Let's have a quick comparison. With the Kill Team Octarius book. So this is kind of the counterpart from another book. The Octarius book is actually bigger, to be fair. What are we coming in at? We're coming at 65 pages, so it's, you know, it's a decent book. The Octarius one came in at 95 pages. Okay, so let's have a Secrets of the Gnarlwood. Okay, yeah, so this is all about the Gnarlwood. Lots and lots of stuff here. A load of information dedicated to the Rotmire Creed. Quite like, actually. The Horns of Hashut as well. 4 pages of information on those. Rot and Ruin. So images of all of our warbands. Now there's actually 15 fighters in this image here. I believe there's 10 or 11 actually in the box. So confirmation really, if you want to use everything, it appears like you're going to have to buy another warband. Very cool. And the Rotmire, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That sounds about right. But again, make sure you get down to Games Workshop. Pick up your extra model for free this month. Okay, lots and lots of nice artwork with some descriptions of what we're actually looking at. Clash of Fiends. Leave none alive, let the forest feast upon their shattered bones. Very nice. Okay, so individual rules. So rules just for Rot and Ruin. You'll find all the rules you need to field the Rotmire Creed and Horns of Hashut in battle, as well as rules for your Narwhal terrain. Alright, okay, so basically it's got the details from your individual cards, which we'll break out and look at briefly in a minute, appear in this book as well. So that's cool. You can work from the cards directly, which I prefer to do, or you can just work from the actual book. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of unit with one leader. Okay, that's cool. We've done another video on reactions already, but we'll cover their individual reaction and all their new actions in their full review. Horns of Hashut, exactly the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 7 different types of fighter. We'll quickly go back to this page from earlier. Lots of different ones here, but obviously these individual images, they might have different weapons and that kind of thing, but they will all carry the same stats. Okay, individual Narwhal terrain. Again, the terrain itself will get a separate review. The Narwhal terrain will get their own review. So the ability, sound the alarm. A fighter can use this ability only if they're within 1 inch of the watchtower's war horn. So they have to be up on the platform there. Roll a number of dice equal to the value of this ability. For each 4-up, you can pick one fighter from your warband that is in reserve and set them up on the battlefield within 3 inches horizontally of their deployment point as normal. These fighters can be activated this battle round as normal. Okay, very cool. You can call in your reserves early. Yeah, very cool indeed. Gnarl Oaks. The trunk of a gnarl oak is an obstacle, as are any large skulls or support struts. The wooden platform is a platform. Lastly, the upper branches are unscalable, so you can't balance your models on the branches. Okay, then it's got all of the different types of rules for the terrain, all of which I'm assuming are going to be covered in this rule book. Okay, Campaign of Terror. So, Quest for the Rotmire Creed. Including Fruits of Dark Alchemy and Rotmire Creed Heroic Traits. Okay, very cool. It's got a basic battle plan now. Exactly the same thing for Horns of Hashut. And then the campaign tree. Okay, very cool. So what have we got here? The campaign tree. Oh, right, okay. So these are different. Ah, interesting. This is a different way that the battle can flow through a campaign. So if you've got these two up against each other, this is actually really cool. I reckon you could play through this in kind of quite a long evening. You will draw a campaign of 1, 2, yeah, just a couple of battles. Play it through it one evening, and you can complete this campaign tree. It covers for both war bands, and then each individual battle has its own victory conditions and changes and all that kind of thing. Yeah, very nice. And then some campaign arcs. Excellent. Right, we'll cover all this in the review anyway. Oh, background tables as well. I've never used these background tables, to be honest, for any of my warbands previously. Maybe I'll give it a go for the next one. Okay, very cool. Now the rule book, core book, what are we coming in at here? 161 pages. We'll have a quick comparison with the last one, which was 161 pages. Cool. Okay. For plunder and glory. Okay, I'm not going to run through this completely, but oh, that's a shame. Look at that. Damn. Never mind. Okay, so a lot of the things that you would usually expect in these books. Right, interesting enough. Right, okay, so here we go. The Rottmeier Creed and the Horns of Hashut we've got here. Have we got any more imagery or details for other warbands and that kind of thing? This stuff's cool. I'm really pleased that I've got a really long car journey tomorrow for going on holiday, so I'll be sure to give this a right good going over. Secrets of Gnarlwood. Will this give us an indication of where we're going to go with future sets? So we've got Secrets of the Gnarlwood here. The Vaults of Wonder. Are we looking at something from a future terrain kit here maybe? Shattered wreckage of the Eye of Kotek is scattered across the Gnarlwood. Though the core of the Void ship remains largely intact, we have ever strayed within its obsidian walls and survived, for its secrets are protected, not only by an impenetrable wall of overgrown gnarl oaks, but also by an ancient wards that can blast the mortal's very soul from their body. This is definitely going to be the future of the game, isn't it? It's going to go from the Gnarlwood straight into here, the Eye of Kotek. Looters and Killers. So talk about, right, so we've got Agents of Chaos. Talks about the Dark Oath Chieftain there. Information on Untamed Beast, the Dark Oath Savages. A real run through of a load of stuff that we've seen previously. Sentinels of Order. Okay. Nice. Bringers of Death. So just going through how all this stuff fits into the world, the new world. Harbingers of Destruction. Okay, so we're all lore and information up to here. Playing Warcry. Okay, so again, there'll be a full, I'll be producing my own how to play for the game. I've seen that there is one already, and there's a few bit here. I just want to do a kind of no nonsense, straight to the game, a simple version of my take on it. Okay, so playing Warcry. So I'll be doing my own kind of how to play videos going forward as well. So playing Warcry. So I'll be doing my own how to play videos going forward, but I won't get into this right now. But most of this, if you've played Warcry before, not a lot has really changed. There's a few subtle differences. Definitely the introduction of the reactions is a big, massive change from the game. But yeah, very cool. It all looks very well laid out. These images look very nice, actually. Explaining kind of jumps and moving over terrain and all that kind of stuff. Jumping over terrain, that's quite interesting actually. Attack actions, disengage actions which have changed, wait actions, abilities and reactions. Very cool. It looks like a much better layout of kind of describing terrain and what makes up obstacles, low terrain platforms, falling off, deadly terrain, unscalable terrain. Yeah, this looks really cool. Okay, objectives and treasures tokens. This is a really cool upgrade to the rulebook. Allies, thralls and monsters. So again, none of that stuff was in Warcry when it originally launched, but got added very quickly. The first expansion or expansion book for Warcry, which was, I believe it was called Monsters and Mercenaries, that came out about a month after the core box came out. And I thought it really took the mick. I thought that all of those rules should have been in the core book. So I'm glad that it is this time and we're not going to get kind of shafted again. All of our rune marks. Battle plan cards. Orientation and matched play. So those are cards which I haven't seen before. If there's going to be actual cards for them, who knows? But yeah, faction rune marks, all of our different grand alliances. Brutal conflict. This is for open play. Yeah, it all looks quite in depth, you know. Match play. Running a tournament. Narrative play. Yeah, very cool. So a lot of this, we've got Gnarlwood artifacts tables, and for lesser artifacts, exploration tables. I like the way this is all put together, to be honest. Common encampment locations. It gives you points limits, reputation modifiers. Reputation, that's not something I know about, to be honest. Sounds interesting though. Right, quests. So we've got universal quests. Quite a lot of universal quests. Quest battle plans. Right, chaos quests. Order. Death. And destruction. Going through campaign arcs again, because we saw one in our other book, the Rotten Rune book. All right, cool. Now this is what I like. So we've got the Kotek Valley. Part of that is the Savage Seraphon, and these all look like they're pretty low level. Except for maybe, well, the Savage Saurus warriors, they're not exactly low level, but, you know, kind of step up from a skink anyway. Okay, so from where we had the Chaotic Beast previously, we're now given the Savage Seraphon. Each battle fought in the Kotek Valley has an additional twist. Savage Seraphon fighters will arrive in the battlefield and attack the warbands indiscriminately. The rules on this page explain how the Savage Seraphon work. I like it. We've got battle plan generators here. And victory conditions. So I'm assuming this is all just print versions of what we've got cards for anyway. Tournament rosters. And tracking our fighters and heroes. Okay, very cool. I have to say, I really like the Savage Seraphon edition here. I was kind of hoping that we might get a few other options. But don't forget, guys, that this, although the edition has changed, there's nothing stopping you from bringing in stuff from the previous edition. So if you want to play your Chaotic Beasts in a game, you know, a narrative game, there is absolutely nothing stopping you doing that. There's nothing stopping you from going back to your other kind of Grand Alliance books and looking at, Grand Alliance books or the Tome of Champions and going through that stuff to look for, you know, the chaotic beasts. There was a few other ones that were added. There was I think it was Restless Undead. There was another one that added some of the Troggoths and that kind of thing into the game. But yeah, I'll you know, for as much narrative play as I do of this game, I will definitely be going back to some of that stuff and adding it in. Right, okay, so we have our abilities cards, which now have the reactions on them as well. We'll quickly grab our individual cards that go with them. So we get a couple of these cards to track excess fighters. So if you've got more than one fighter of the same type on there, you haven't got their own individual card, you can do it like that. So Rotmire Creed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different cards. In general, they are a movement of 4, so not great. They are in general a toughness of 3s and 4s, which again isn't tremendous. Our leader has got 20 wounds. His kind of backups have got 18. And the rest are between 10 and 12. So there's nothing really mushy in there, but yeah, certainly some of these guys aren't going to last long. In terms of damage, they dish out 3 and 5, 2 and 5, 2 and 5, 2 and 4, 2 and 5, 1 and 3, 1 and 4. Okay, it's not bad, not bad. Okay, Horns of Hashut, we have, I think it's 8 different cards, I believe. 5, 6, I know, just 7 again. They're all movement of 4 again. They are all toughness 4s, and there's a 5 in there as well. Oh, there's a couple of 3s as well. Wounds wise, 20, 20, 12, 15, 12, 12, 10. So these guys, yeah, these were the ones that there was quite a few options for the weapons, I believe. 55 points. So they don't move very fast, but you might want to flood with a few of these, try and grab some objectives and that kind of thing. Hitting power, they are much the same as the Rotmire Creed as well. So that's those. Okay, and then we've got the heartbeat of the game. These, for me, is what makes Warcry. It really separates it from other games, other skirmish games. You could play thousands of games, potentially, and not have 2 the same. So, here's our new cards for our terrain layouts. And there is a lot of them. Can't wait to start building this stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of these. I'm really hopeful that as they start to bring out the new boxes, so we know that there's going to be a new box every 3 months, which is going to contain warbands and some terrain. Please give us more of these cards. Make sure these cards are in those boxes. Twist cards. One of the things I wish they'd have done more with the last edition of Warcry is whenever there was a box expansion came out, give us a few more twist cards. So let's have a look at a couple of them. Murky Swampland. Weeks of endless rain have turned these lands into a thick and squelching quagmire. If a fight begins a move action on the battlefield floor, subtract 1 from the move characteristic of that fighter till the end of that move action. This has no effect on fighters with the fly rune mark. Okay. Gaze of the Dark Gods. The skies darken above the ruinous powers. Gaze of the Dark Gods. The skies darken above as the ruinous powers take on an interest in the battle to come. Players roll 7 initiative dice. in each initiative phase instead of 6. Okay, we'll have one more to look at. Battle of Wits. As blood is shed between these rival warbands, their leaders try to anticipate and counter the maneuvers of their opponent. Each player receives 1 additional wild dice at the start of this battle. Cool stuff. But yeah, loving all of those. Now what I might do is, if they don't give us more of these twist cards going forward, I may take out appropriate ones from the last game, from the last edition, maybe print off a few more of these card backs, and yeah, and just shuffle them into the deck. Okay. So deployments. So yeah, we won't learn anything new from these. These are probably mostly the same as the ones that were for the last edition anyway. And our victory cards. We'll have a look at a couple of these. Ones with less text. I've got a sore throat, all this talking. Interesting. The Comet. Seize the riches that fall from the stars. At the start of the combat phase on the second battle round, the player with the initiative rolls a dice. On a 1 to 4, they place 1 objective on the battlefield floor or a platform. Okay, so this is just where they're putting objectives. But yeah, all cool stuff. Assassination, isolated, no mercy. Very cool stuff. The only other thing we need to do is have a look at the new dice. Which are cool. Now, the only thing that's changed with the dice really is the icon on the 6s is slightly different from what it was in the last edition. Obviously the colours are different, and they've also returned to the more round-edged dice. Anyone who got the last expansion that came out, which was, I believe, what was it, Red Harvest, they'd actually gone for the more square dice, which I prefer the square ones, to be fair, but I mean, dice are dice, obviously. But yeah, so let's roll for our initiative, see how we get on. This will indicate how this edition is going to go for me. So what did we get? We got a double. I will definitely get to go first. Let's try that again, see what we get. Actually, they're not all that easy to see, these ones. This colour. Let's have a look at these. What have we got? We've got a triple and 3 singles. It's a good chance I'll be going first. Let's try the last ones. Don't know why I'm doing this. What did we end up with? Oh, a triple and a double. What would get that? What would that give us on Horns of Hashut? Engulfing flames of dark artifice. Pick a visible enemy fighter within 6 inches. Blah 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 blah. On a 4-up, allocate 3 damage to that fighter. Oh wow! So on that triple, I'd roll 4 dice. Pick an enemy with 6 inches, I'd roll 3 dice. On 4-ups, I'd do 3 damage. See what I did. Oh, lucky fighter, not a thing. There's also one called Ash Bomb, which is for a triple. I'm looking forward to reviewing these guys. So that's it. That's it. That is it for the... So that's it for the unboxing for Warcry. So that's it for the unboxing of Warcry Heart of Ghur. I'm excited. I think it looks really, really cool. I'll be back very soon with more content on this game. Specifically, maybe some build stuff for the terrain. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled and I'll see you all very soon. See you later. Bye.